All right, let's dive into a story about power, about strategy, and a kind of quiet rebellion. And, it doesn't take place where you might think.
So we're not in some sprawling wilderness with smugglers and outlaws hiding in the shadows. And nope, it's not the gritty back alleys of a city ruled by gangs fighting for turf. No, get this. Our story unfolds in a government polytechnic college right in the middle of a dusty industrial town, a place where power isn't really about money, it's about influence, who you know, and good old-fashioned fear. And this is where we meet our guy, Arjun. He's a final year student, and he's made it his mission to just blend in, to be invisible. Because this college is unofficially run by Sanjay, a rich kid, a student leader with some serious political connections. And here, the rule is simple. If you're not one of them, you keep your head down. I mean, look at this. The gap between these two is just massive. You've got Arjun, a factory worker's son, practically a ghost on the last bench. And then there's Sanjay, who basically runs the place through fear and his family's money. They're living in two completely different worlds, but in the exact same classroom. But here's the thing about Arjun. He might be quiet, but don't mistake that for weakness. When a professor tries to humiliate him, telling him guys like him should stick to skills and forget about dreaming big, Arjun's reply is quiet, but it lands. It's the first time we see there's a real architect hiding behind that backbencher persona. So the whole system at this college, it's completely rotten. When it's time for final projects, the best ideas get stolen. They're basically sold off to Sanjay's rich buddies, who then bully the weaker students into signing blank approval sheets for projects they didn't even do. And for Arjun, this all becomes brutally personal when his friend Ravi says no. He refuses to sign, and for that, he gets beaten, badly. Seeing Ravi's mom in tears, just begging her son not to give up on his education, that's it. That's the spark. This isn't just some abstract problem anymore. It's an attack on his world. So that night, something shifts. Arjun makes a promise. There's no yelling, no empty threats. Just this calm, solid-as-a-rock declaration. It's the turning point. The silent kid has decided to speak up, and he's about to make sure everyone listens. But here's the thing about Arjun's promise. It doesn't lead to a fight. It leads to a plan. When Sanjay tries to humiliate him in front of everyone in the workshop, Arjun doesn't even blink. Instead, he just calmly lays out stone-cold proof of Sanjay's fake projects. He exposes the entire scam for everyone to see. He stands up to Sanjay, not with anger, but with this incredible moment of self-awareness. He realizes it wasn't the last bench that held him back. It was his own silence. And in that moment, he doesn't just win an argument. He wins over the entire student body. See? Arjun gets it. Real power isn't about making people afraid. He starts this unofficial student group, but it's built on totally different rules. Sharing skills, helping each other out, and zero tolerance for cheating or violence. He's not building an army to fight Sanjay. He's building a community so strong that Sanjay becomes totally irrelevant. But of course, when you push back against the system pushes back harder. Sanjay feels his grip slipping, so he calls in the big guns. He uses his connections to frame Arjun for stealing college equipment. The cops show up, and just like that, Arjun is suspended. And just like that, it looks like it's over. Game over. To everyone watching, it seems like the system won. The rebellion got crushed, and the one guy who dared to speak out is thrown out. All that hope, it just seems to vanish. But here's where it gets interesting. While everyone else is freaking out, Arjun, he just smiles. He knew this was coming. He knew a head-on fight was a trap. What looked like a total defeat was actually just another move in a much, much bigger game. So, is that it? Is this really the end of the line? You already know the answer to that. Because while Sanjay was busy reacting, Arjun was busy building. For weeks, this whole time, Arjun was playing chess while everyone else was playing checkers. Every threat, every shady deal, every single conversation, he was documenting everything. And he didn't just collect the proof, he protected it. He used multiple cloud accounts, basically building a digital fortress around the evidence so it could never be found or deleted. He knew this battle couldn't be won inside the college, so he anonymously leaked everything he had to the local newspapers, getting ready to drag this whole mess out into the open. And this was the checkmate. He filed official complaints, anonymously, to the Technical Education Board, complete with all his evidence. Getting suspended wasn't his defeat. It was the trigger. It was the one thing he needed to kick off an official investigation that he himself had orchestrated from the shadows. And it all comes to a head in the college assembly hall. An official inspection team is there, and they're not messing around. Their audit has found everything. The fake records, the project scams, all of it. Sanjay is trapped. His political connections can't protect him now.
Sanjay tries one last desperate verbal attack, and Arjun just walks right up to him and drops this absolute truth bomb. And that's the whole point of the story, isn't it? Sanjay's power was just an illusion built on fear. The second people decided not to be afraid anymore, poof, it was gone. So after all this, you'd think he'd take over, right? But no. They offer him a leadership position and he turns it down flat. He never wanted to be the next Sanjay. He graduates, and in the very last scene, we see him achieve his own dream. He's walking into a factory, not as a worker like his dad, but as a junior design engineer. And that, right there, is the heart of it all. This was never about a power grab. It was a masterclass in fighting smart, a battle for his own autonomy, not for dominance over others. The goal was never to take the throne. It was to build a world where that throne, and whoever sat on it, just didn't matter anymore.